Hi, and welcome to Empty Nest Creations. My name is Wendy. If you are new here, thank you for joining me. And if you're a subscriber, I want to welcome you back. If you like home decor videos, DIYs, thrift hauls, then this is a place for you. And if you haven't already subscribed, if you like this video, please consider subscribing. And like and share this video. It really does help my channel. So today we're going to take these two candle holders that I thrifted. I paid $2.99 each for these. What we're going to do today is we're going to decorate them for Christmas. So what I do to one, I'm going to do to the other so that there'll be a matching set. And I just went through my supply of Christmas picks in Greenery, and I picked out a few of these. So this one and this one, I think were from Michael's last year after Christmas. I have a few of these berry picks that I actually thrifted. So we're going to use some of these red berries. I have some tools, some wire cutters, some scissors, and then I have my hot glue gun. This is a high temp hot glue gun. And then I have some glue sticks as well. So we're going to get started. We're going to glue directly to the glass. I'm going to take the globe off because we're not going to need that right now. So I'm going to take those and just set them aside out of the way so they don't get broken. And we're going to glue directly to this edge right here, right under where the globe sits. And I'm using hot glue because you can peel hot glue off of glass. So if you want to use these at Christmas and then swap them out and use them for another season or another holiday, it's really easy to swap it out. So what I'm going to do to start off with is I'm just going to pull some of these pieces off, and to help me with the arrangement and keeping the two very similar, I'm going to pull off the matching branches and put the matching ones together. So these are kind of like a boxwood or shrubbery kind of leaf. So I'm going to put those separate from the pine branches. And then this is a single branch set, and these were multi-branches. So I'm going to just separate those into piles as I pull them off, so that when I get ready to start assembling, it'll be really easy to assemble this and keep it looking similar. Okay, so these three that are left have pine cones on them. I'm not sure that I want the pine cones, so I'm just going to set those three aside and then start pulling from this other one. Now this one has some really large and long branches, and I'm just going to clip these off. So see, this one's really nice and big, and I can cut pieces off of that one. And there's another one on here that's like that, so just trim that one off. And put that in a separate location. Okay, and then there are some smaller ones that look like this. So I'm just going to pull these off and set them in a pile, separate from the rest. This greenery is a little bit different from what I had on the other one. Okay, so now you can see everything that I have laid out. Here are the two longer branches. You can also see a bunch of other stuff on my table, but ignore all that. So what I'm going to do is just start out putting some pine branches on. And I'm going to start with these smaller ones. Actually, I'm going to start with these longer. So this is like a long needle pine, and this would be like a short needle pine. So I'm going to put the long ones on the bottom. And I'm just going to glue it in spots to wrap it around the base. So I'll start by putting some glue on here. Now my glue gun is a high temp glue gun, and it gets really, really hot. So you just want to be careful when you're using a glue gun of any type and, you know, not burn yourself. So I'm just going to stick that in that glue and I'm just going to hold it for a second. Keeping my fingers well away from that very, very hot glue. And once that starts to set, I'm going to put some more glue and just glue this all the way around so that it has a nice, solid attachment to the candlestick. And just hold that until it starts to cool down and the glue begins to set up. I'm just using my scissors to kind of push that into that glue so it gets a nice good hold. Okay, we're going to add some more glue. And use my scissors again to make sure that gets pushed in nice and tight up against that glass. So we want it to hold really well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add one more, wrapping it around, starting under this other one. So see where this one ends? I'm going to leave it sticking out, and I'm just going to start this one right up under it and wrap it around. So I'm covering up both of those ends. We're just going to stick it in the glue. Give it a second to cool. Use your scissors or a tool to kind of hold it in place and let it cool off. And then we're going to just go ahead and do the same thing with this one, gluing it all the way around. Letting it set up. Okay, so now we've got the two bases covered. And we're going to start just adding on some other pieces. So I'm going to take these pieces that I have that are still left of the long leaf. And I'm going to cut these little branches off. So I have several small little branches to work with. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start on this back side where we don't have anything sticking out. And I'm just going to add one of these, put some hot glue directly onto the branch. And then I'm just going to stick it on and hold it in place for just a second to let that glue catch. Okay, and what I do to one, I'm going to do to the other. So I'm going to glue this piece on. right here. And give it a second to catch. And then we're going to, I'm going to set those aside. We may come back to those. And I'm going to take some of this, which was like that shrub greenery. And I'm going to do the same thing. Just cut some pieces off. And then we're just going to add them in to places around the ring. And I do want things to be kind of coming out, swooping out from there, not right up on top of the ring. Now these have a frosted side and a plain side. So I'm going to make sure that I'm putting that frosted side out. And you can put some pointing up and some pointing down like I'm doing here. And because these are smaller, thinner pieces, it doesn't take as long for the glue to catch. It's not trying to hold up a lot of weight or, you know, conform to the shape of the candle holder. So these are going to be easier to attach. Okay, so that's what that one looks like so far. And I'm going to do the same thing to this one, snipping off some of these branches. And I put 3 on that one, so I'm going to put 3 on this one as well. Paying attention to which side has the snow, the glitter on it, so that it's out, facing out. Be careful and don't burn yourself like I just did. Okay, so now those are on. We're going to move to these smaller pine branches. And I'm going to cut just some pieces off. So that I have smaller pieces to put on. Okay, so I've got 3 small pieces for this one, and I'm going to cut off some small pieces for this other one. All right, then I'm just going to start attaching these the same way I did the other ones. Put a little glue on there. Find where I want it to go. And just stick it in. Using my scissors to get it right down in there. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing to the next one. Okay, so I finished adding the greenery. So this is kind of what it looks like. Notice that some things are going up, some things are pointing down, because that makes it look more natural. Things in nature don't all grow in the same direction. And so what we're going to do now is add some of these berries. So I thrifted these picks. They were in bags, and there was like 10 in a bag, and I bought 2 bags of them. And so what I've done with one of these, this one here, is I've just pulled off some of the berries, and they're on little pieces of branches like this. So what I'm going to do is just trim these down with my scissors into small pieces, and then I'm just going to find a spot and glue it in, okay? And things are going this direction, so I want to make sure that I'm not putting them in the opposite direction. I'm going in the same direction. And I'm going to do the same thing with these. Is just put a little glue on there, and then just stick it in and let it attach to some of the stuff that's already going on in there. Just like that. And it doesn't need a ton of berries, so I'm going to, just put a few on here. Just to add a little bit of red. Okay. We'll add this one. I'm just pulling off some of these twigs that I don't need. Adding a little glue. Oops, that was a lot of glue. And then I'm just going to stick it in there and let it attach to some of that greenery. So here's this one. Very simple, not a lot of greenery, just a little bit. Adding a little bit of a natural element with those twigs. And then we're going to work on the next one. Doing the same kinds of thing. I'm just going to pull off what we don't need. Add a little glue. And then stick it in there. I do have a couple of berries that are kind of on their own, and this one was just a single berry, so I'm going to add this one right next to that one so that there's 2 berries there. This is a nice twig with some berries on it. So I'll add a little glue. And then just stick it in here. And let it attach to those other twigs that are already in there. Okay, I think that's enough. I don't think I need any more of those. But I do think that it needs some more kind of a brown natural element, so more of these twigs. So I'm just going to go through and find some little twig pieces like this. and just glue those in random places to bring in more of a kind of a natural look. So I'm just going to stick that in there. And that glue will grab on to some of that greenery and hold itself in place. Find another spot to put some in. There. I'm going to grab this bundle and I'm just going to pull some of these twigs out. Break them into smaller sections. I think I need one more and then I'm going to stop. Find a nice bundle. And just attach it. We'll go right here. Okay, so this is the finished product. Now I will have to come back and clean this glass again. It's got strings and stuff all over it from the glue. But that's what that looks like. And then we put the globes back on. I think that looks really pretty. Perfect for Christmas. And then like I said, if you wanted to change it out, do something different, you know, if you wanted to add something like after Christmas, maybe add some snowy branches in there. This could easily transition to winter, and then you could take it off and in the spring put some greenery on here and some small flowers, and it'd be beautiful for spring as well. And the hot glue makes it really easy to just peel it off and put new stuff on. So I will put these on the table and show you what they look like. So here they are on the entry table. I think these turned out really cute. They'll go with anyone's home decor. Very traditional Christmas colors. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing and clicking the notification bell so you'll be notified of all of our future videos. I hope you have a great day and Merry Christmas.